What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of the Everything 9000 podcast. What's happening, Amrit?
I'm all right.
We've got, a few topics to dig into today, to be honest. The whole Gary Lineker situation. We've got to start there.
We have to. There's no other way to start.
So go on then.
Did you watch Match today?
I didn't, I actually didn't watch it.
So I put the TV on and it just happened on like BBC One, right?
Right.
So I saw it for about 30 seconds. And I noticed that for the first ever time, it was very weird actually. The games were playing, but there was no commentary either. So that's when I clocked actually. All the commentators have stepped back as well.
No commentary either.
No commentary either. So what they were just, I think. So from what I was reading, it was literally just a 20-minute run, and it was just games back to back, where highlights with no commentary and no punditry.
So we could have broadcast it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched my weekend's dose of goals and highlights on Sky Sports on YouTube.
I mean, for those that haven't been following it, basically, Rishi Sunak's We're the Braver Men, they've introduced new policies, especially in relation to refugees, saying no one is welcome that enters illegally, basically.
Oh yeah, exactly. So they're saying like if you enter illegally that you can't claim asylum or like get protection from modern slavery rules and stuff.
As a result of those policies, Gary Lineker then tweeted, he said, and this is where a lot of people misconceived what he said. You need to be clear about what he said. What he said was, the language that is being used by the likes of Rishi Sunak's We're the Braver Men is very similar to that language that was used in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Right, he's not saying that what's happening now, we're in Nazi Germany, or, he's not belittling anybody that suffered at the hands of Nazi Germany. He's just saying a lot of the rhetoric being used is similar, in the sense that, if you're a Ukrainian refugee, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're from Iraq or Syria, you're illegal.
Exactly.
You're a criminal, you're this, you're that. So it's a discriminatory language.
It is 100% discriminatory language, because this is a language that's been used by them for the last, I would say, 6-7 years, but even more so, it's been ramped up basically by Priti Patel first. And now Suella Braverman is like a step ahead from Priti Patel. Like Priti Patel's even looking at this bill and thinking like, what the fuck? I think she's not backing this bill either properly.
Really?
Yeah, because she thinks it goes too far. So this is how bad this bill is. Like if Priti Patel thinks this is too extreme, then it is too extreme, basically, right?
Yeah.
And the whole language around like refugees and immigration, the Tories have been doing this for the last 6-7 years, where they've been demonizing asylum seekers, they've been demonizing migrants. Okay, you've got like Nigel Farage going out on his YouTube channel with like going to like the taking out a boat and stuff, like filming people coming in and going like. You've got like white people, like extremist white people going around to hostels where asylum seekers are held, like protesting there and like hurling abuse at them. All right, okay, yeah. But then in terms of language used by the government, it's been going on for a few years. Like Priti Patel started this whole hatred campaign against like human rights lawyers, for example. She's been saying, these do-gooders and stuff, and they're the public. She's been making like human rights lawyers public enemies. And it's just been a continuation from that to the point where now you're thinking, okay, look, what is actually, the worst thing is, okay, so they keep saying like, they're going to do like, they're going to ban people coming in from like illegal routes, but then what legal routes are there for asylum seekers? Like what route is there for somebody who seeks protection, right? As we are obliged under the international law to give, what route do they have to come in and like claim for that protection? None. There are no legal safe routes. That's why people coming in the back of the lorries, that's why people cross the English Channel on like dinghy boats and stuff. That's the whole point of them. Like, and if there were safe legal routes, you wouldn't have this sort of a situation where you're finding people turning up, on shores like completely dead and stuff.
And if you actually look at the percentages, I think we've got one of the lowest percentages of refugee holders across Europe.
Exactly. So like Germany and other countries, right? Okay, France. They're taking a lot of like asylum seekers and they give a lot of refuge to them. Okay, yeah, we're actually one of the lowest ones as well. So and again, when you don't realize that, if you look at the government's rhetoric,
we're the lowest, and yeah, you're right, because of the government's rhetoric.
Yeah, we don't.
There's a large percentage of the population in the UK that thinks it's a problem because they're being fed that message.
Exactly, but it's not a problem. It really is not a problem. If you're talking about, housing and crisis and all that, okay, if you look at London, for example, okay, and this is what pisses me off. People think, okay, well, look at the housing costs going up and all that, okay, we can't have these refugees and like asylum seekers in the UK. the housing crisis is not caused by asylum seekers or people that are coming here illegally. They're in fact contributing to society. Okay, yeah, they're eager to work. They seek protection, but they're eager to work.
They are eager to work.
What's causing these housing crises, especially in London, for example, is the money that the government is willing to take from foreigners, okay, that have got it by all means. For example, property in London's being brought up left, right, and centre by oligarchs from Russia. Again, ill-gotten money by like those sheikhs in like, you know, in the Gulf. Again, ill-gotten money, most of it. Well, I don't know if it's ill-gotten, but like immorally, right? If you think about it. So it's these kind of sort of things that are driving the crisis up in London, not your average asylum seeker from Syria.
Now, you know what? You, to be fair, have been saying for a long time, you know, the message from the government, it's sending the wrong message, you know, the rhetoric used, the language used, it's stirring hatred. Right, and they're the ones leading the banner on this, and it's been from, you know, the time of Boris Johnson, etc. So fair play on that. I don't think we're disagreeing anything to do with the policies. I think loads of people find the policies like shameful.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gary Lineker tweeted this.
Honestly, Gary Lineker, man, like kudos to the guy. He. You know the worst thing. Let's talk about the BBC before we talk about Gary Lineker. I think because the BBC. It's
my problem with the BBC is they're picking and choosing where they want to politicize and choose their voice.
Yeah, but it's more so you know, one thing I read and that kind of resonated with me when I was looking into this whole thing is like, and this actually came from a BBC article because they're so keen on like not being seen to be like kind of what's the right word? Not criticizing themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the one who kind of made it big news about it, because you would see like it was breaking news from them, from that outlet first before anything else about Gary Lineker, right? Because they were so conscious of not being to be seen like self-criticizing and stuff. But then they were saying like, what was it that? Yeah, so it's like basically the BBC, right? Okay, only seems to be taking action if anything said is not in line with like the day's government, for example, right? So if you look at it over the past few years, it's the Tories that have been in like power, okay, yeah, and any people that have expressed their views are slightly more in line with the Tories and stuff. You've seen that there's no action being taken. Gary Lineker, who's a very prominent left socialist politics, I would say, at least, because if you look at his past and if you look at his statements and his actions in the past, he definitely is very pro migration, very pro immigration and stuff. Okay, he's very socialist in that sense. Okay, and then he's had issues here and there before as well. Like people have attacked him, and he's come out and said, "Well, look, I think there was this whole thing about he had talked about these asylum seekers before, like accommodation issues, and somebody had said to him on Twitter and stuff like, okay, why don't you house them in your own house?" And he actually did that. So he actually like hosted some refugees in his own house.
So he walks the walk as well.
He walks the walk as well, and then now, if you look at it, he said, and to be honest, the tweet wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't that bad,
right?
People have said worse things. You know, loads. People have criticised Wella Braverman a lot. There was, like I said, we covered this in a previous podcast.
I think didn't like Jeremy Clarkson say like all union workers should be like shot dead or something, like all striking, something along those lines.
Right. Yeah.
Right. How
wouldn't surprise me.
That is so violent, right?
But he's already in the BBC's bad books.
No, but this was before. This was when he was still doing Top Gear, for example.
Right.
Right. The BBC's justification for like Gary Lineker is that Gary Lineker is more of a journalist as opposed to Jeremy Clarkson was.
Right.
But I don't agree with that. Do you think Gary Lineker is a journalist?
He's a presenter / host.
Exactly.
I don't know if that makes him a journalist.
But a journalist is somebody who reports the news.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't think he is then.
And also, another interesting thing is why they're trying to like bloody bring Gary Lineker into line is like also, this is another thing that they acknowledge, that he's a freelancer as well. So he's not like exclusively signed by BBC.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
I don't know if well, obviously you don't see him presenting for Sky or anything like that, because you've got like other, like the likes of Mika Richards, for example. He does for BBC and like, you know, CNN, whatever.
Yeah, no, they all hop.
Although he's paid by the BBC, but I don't think he's directly and exclusively employed by the BBC.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Right, so trying to drag him in to hold him to the same standards you would hold a journalist.
I think a lot of people have said, like, you know, the BBC had a problem with Qatar.
Yeah.
And, you know, they had a very political message there. And then now Gary Lineker is showing a political message. They had a problem with him.
Because this is a political message against its own government. Because The worst thing the BBC is at right now, okay, yeah, if you look at the structure of the BBC, okay, yeah, and this is another thing that you talk about, BBC talks about impartiality, okay, yeah, with Gary Lineker.
This is the thing, BBC is meant to be known as the impartial body.
But then it's not, it's breaking down. It's bowing down to the pressures from 10 Downing Street, you know, because... And the other biggest thing as well, it's chairman, for example. What's his name, man? Hold on, I researched his name because I keep forgetting. Yeah, Richard Sharp, the BBC chairman. Okay, yeah. So the chairman's position is a political one anyway. Okay, yeah. But then this guy, BBC talks about impartiality. This guy is like a Tory donor for beginning with, right? He's friends with Boris Johnson and like Rishi Sunak. Okay, yeah. Right. And then secondly, this is the exact guy who facilitated an £800,000 loan for Boris Johnson while he was Prime Minister. So this, and then he had his BBC for like the chairmanship interview. Forgot omits to mention that he's actually facilitated a loan for Boris Johnson as well. So there's a clear conflict of interest, right?
Yeah.
And now people are calling for his head, like saying like you should resign. And also the BBC's director, they're calling for his head as well to resign because they've made an absolute shambles and they didn't think the fallout would be so huge. Because it literally...
Everyone backed it. Ian Wright backed it. Alan Shearer.
Oh, man. Like,
I love them for that.
No, not just them two. Like everybody. Like, even the commentators, even, like, the following programs, for example, like Football Focus and, like, Total Score and all that, right? Okay, everything was off. Because they all, like, down tools and they said, look, this is outrageous.
Respect, man. You know,
this organisations... solidarity looks like, man. And you know what? Like, Gary Lineker's actions could possibly now affect they're saying like possibly affect the policy itself as well and affect the government. So that's how big the reach is with this as well. It just shows you like a little bit of solidarity can go a bloody long way. And now BBC are scrambling. Apparently they're in positive talks this morning, I heard.
They want him back?
Yeah, obviously they want him back and they can't like nobody.
But he is good at what he does.
He's amazing.
You know, he's so tongue-in-cheek when he's presenting Match of the Day.
So
it would, you know... The BBC made a mistake letting Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, James May go from the Top Gear.
I don't know if it was a mistake, but Top Gear was like nobody.
Top Gear was iconic, man.
It was iconic, but then
iconic, and then you're gonna ruin another iconic thing now, like Match of the Day with Gary Lineker.
Yeah, and
is it Guy Mowbray that sometimes steps in? Well, there's other people.
Dan Walker
on Match of the Day 2 and stuff. Yeah, it's just not the same vibe.
Yeah, it's not. But then I think
you want to hear them stop talking.
Did Match of the Day 2 go yesterday?
No idea.
I don't think it did.
No idea.
It wouldn't have gone.
BBC's like in the mud, man.
Yeah, Mark Chapman. I think they're all down tools.
Yeah, right. Okay. Another topic I wanted to talk about is TikTok is set. You know, it's to set a 1 hour daily limit for under 18s. Right. And so this is something that will automatically happen in the coming weeks. You know, their idea is that they will, if the 60-minute limit is reached, teens will then be prompted to enter a passcode. This is something that, you know, all feeds into their data, how much they go on per day, how much they go on per week. There's a dashboard that will be there, say if parents want to check. For under 13s, it's a bit more strict. It's that the daily limit will also be 60 minutes. But then if they want to go further, a parent or guardian has to put in a password, and then they're only allowed additional 30 minutes. Right. And you know, it's quite an aggressive move from a social media company.
I don't think it's aggressive, and it's the right move.
No, but when have you ever seen a company curb its own usage?
Because
that's mad.
That's mad. But then how?
It's to stop the teens endlessly scrolling.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen not even just teens. I've seen fully grown adults. Endlessly scroll. I've done it.
See, that's the exact reason why I've not downloaded Twitter. TikTok. Yeah. Because I know I spend enough time on Instagram as it is, right? And I know for the last 3 years, you've given me enough pressure somehow to download TikTok. I don't know why. What is your obsession with TikTok?
Just want to send you loads of shit.
You just want another follower on TikTok. That's all it is.
Yeah, literally.
And you want to ruin my life for it. But yeah, that's why I've not downloaded TikTok. I've always made a conscious decision not to download it.
Yeah, I mean, if according to UK media regulator Ofcom, 62% of Brits aged 8 to 17 use the app, right?
8 to 17? Wow.
Yeah, 62%. And that makes it the second most popular app behind YouTube, which is on 87%. Earlier this month, TikTok said it had 125 million monthly active users in Europe and the UK.
How many?
125 million active monthly users.
Wow.
That's big, man. That's big. Huge. But do you know what it is? The generation that is very synonymous with TikTok is Gen Z. Yeah. Gen Z being those between 96 and 2010. And it's like, it does impact how they operate as human beings too. Not operate, but how they digest information and then how they act on that.
Because a lot of people just literally get all the news, get everything from TikTok.
Literally.
It's mad.
Not even just TikTok.
And the worst thing is like
media,
TikTok
Twitter,
actually just rose to fame in like the last 3 or 4 years, like during lockdown basically, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it did.
Do you think it's like because there was a lot of news about banning like TikToks, for example, for over the last few years, it's been like on like kind of thin ice because of where it comes from. It comes from China, right?
It's banned in India.
Yeah, it's banned in India and it's banned in a few other countries like Donald Trump.
I'm glad it's banned in India.
Yeah.
Did you see how cringe those TikToks would be coming out of India?
They were cringe.
They were cringe, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just India. It was like Eastern Europe. It was like some Russian ones as well, wasn't it? Like,
and I think there was a lot of talk like when Trump was in president, like he wanted to ban it as well. But I don't know, is it banned in the US?
no, it's not banned in the US, but there was a lot of talk about it.
Yeah, and then even there's been a recent talk about banning or at least curbing TikTok in the UK as well.
Really?
Yeah, there was some. I've seen that in the news previously, like a few weeks back.
There's been loads of talk.
So do you think it's in like reaction to that then, like that they're saying, okay, look, we're kind of like not even necessarily. I think the concerns were more with security, like protection, like data and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But do you think they're just making this move to appease the government a little bit to say like we're socially responsible and stuff that can happen?
You never know, man. There's always political pressure, left, right, centre. Probably they've bowed to a little bit. You know, they said they conducted their own reviews, took into account data themselves. They're trying to be more socially aware. They want teens to be more present and therefore more aware in person. Who knows, man? Who knows?
But I hate TikTok, man, and all this. Like, it's actually really fucked up that 87% of the people, like, kids use YouTube, and they're like 50. Wow, that's a lot of kids, man.
That's a lot of kids.
That's like, I don't know why it's like blowing me away.
It's a lot of kids, man.
Just using YouTube and stuff.
That's using YouTube and stuff. All right. Michael B. Jordan received a Hall of Fame star recently. You know, that was this was in Hollywood.
Oh, you mean the walk?
Yeah, you know, the little star they put on the floor.
Yeah.
It's big. A lot of people, you know, have said it's too early for such a lifetime achievement. He's still
because they normally get it towards
actor.
the end of like after like 20, 30 years, don't they?
Yeah, well, some say he's been acting for 20 years.
But he's, I don't know. I mean, he deserves one.
Do you think?
Yeah, he definitely deserves.
He's a Hall of Famer for you in acting.
When I think of like Hall of Famers, I think of like Robert De Niro, like Al Pacino.
Yep.
You know, Denzel. So I don't know if he's on that level yet.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good actor.
He's a very good actor.
He puts in work, you know. I watched Creed 3.
Have you? I've not seen it.
I watched it. He directed it without giving any spoilers. Yeah, it was decent watch, man.
He directed it?
He directed it.
Whoa, my man's taken on that franchise, man.
He's taken on the franchise. I've heard him in some podcasts talking about how he watches a lot of anime, and so he took inspiration from anime in how he shot fighting scenes, etc. I noticed it a little bit. I'm not really an anime watcher myself, to be fair.
Yeah.
But you know, he was good. John
Major?
John Major was good. Good actor, man. John Major is basically the main villain guy / other protagonist / other. John Major. Man.
I've heard the name John Major. It might be in a different context.
Wait, hold on.
John Major? John Major was a former PM. That's the thing. I've heard the name John Major.
Hold on. What's it? No, it is. It's Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors, not John Major. I was thinking, I've heard of that name. He's a former PM. Like,
yeah, but you know who Jonathan Majors is, right?
Show me his face. Oh, he's sick. I saw this film. He's in this like he's in this western, but it's like a black western.
Right.
It's really good.
That was a good movie, man.
He's good.
It's a good movie. I don't know if I think they will do another one based on how they ended it.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to this then. So Michael B. Jordan, do you think he deserves a Hall of Fame star?
Not right now.
Not right now.
Because the way we broke it down, Hall of Famers, if you think about it, Denzel, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, they already probably have it themselves, their own stars, but he's not on that level.
I think Courtney Cox got it at the same time, you know, the actor from Friends.
Yeah, but she's been around for a long time. Like
legend, man. Yeah, legend.
Friends.
But okay, yeah. Cool.
Friends.
I'm going to give you your minute now. I'm going to give you a couple minutes now. I'm not even going to tell you the topic. The
7-0. I was hoping we would like do one straight after that. I mean, a week's passed since then.
Yeah.
And a couple of
I'm
things.
glad.
Yeah, right. But like, come on. Like, at home, I knew we were going to go win. Like, I had a feeling we would win, right? But I just didn't realize. saw that second half. I was actually doing something. I was like putting up a shelf at the same time. So all I could hear was just literally every 2 minutes a goal going in. I had to like rush over and watch it. And then like another minute, goal going, I had to rush over and watch it. I was building like that cupboard thing. It took me like an hour longer than it would have otherwise.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, yeah, the first half was quite competitive.
Oh, come on. It wasn't competitive.
We went down 1-0, you know, but we were arguably the better team in the first half. But in the second half,
oh, come
it was
on. You were not the better team in the first half.
Okay, maybe we were, maybe we weren't, but it wasn't like, you know, 1-0, fine. If it was 1-1,
you know, one
fine.
thing I want to talk, like, okay, scoreline, yeah. You know what? We score like tons and tons of goals against you, it seems, over the last few seasons. Okay, we've got 9 against you last season, all that. And even before that, we've got like 4 or 5. So I'm not even like interested in talking about the 7-0.
Right.
What I'm more interested in is Bruno Fernandes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
This is arguably your star player, your captain, right? And I actually, you know, I like, first thing I do on a Monday morning is always actually tune into Talk Sport at 10 o'clock, you know.
I heard what they said.
Right?
They were a bit out of order.
I'm on about the fans, not
right.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, right? I'm on about the fans that phoned in to them, okay. And every single one of them...
Fans, you were one of them, right?
Manchester United fans, Manx, were attacking Bruno Fernandes.
What were they saying?
They were saying he lacked character, he lacks leadership. And they said, like, the way he just down tools, it was unacceptable.
Yeah, do you know what?
What do you think?
I don't disagree. I think...
Mind you, this is a player you guys have been building up for the last 2-3 seasons.
No, he's a top player.
I wouldn't say he's a top player.
He's a top player.
He's not a top player.
He would get into most sides. Most sides. He's got great work rate. He always runs back.
He would get into a lot of sides, but not most.
Which ones wouldn't he get into?
Wouldn't get into City.
He'd be like a Bernardo Silva. He'd be bench / playing.
He wouldn't be starting though. A big game, he wouldn't be starting.
Obviously, because they've got De Bruyne, but De Bruyne's coming to the end of it as well.
He's not come to the end of it. He's still at his peak.
It'll probably be his last season, but we'll see.
Are you kidding me, bro? You think this is De Bruyne's last season?
You could see last season he was knackered, and even Pep Guardiola was.
He was the star player last season.
Of course he was. I'm denying it. He's like Modric though. It's like how Modric in the Premier League would.
De Bruyne's like 31, bro.
Yeah, but bro, he's not on that same level now. He's being used a lot less by Guardiola now.
I think
he's on the bench a lot of the time, even when he's fully fit.
Okay, I would like to say that Bruno Fernandes, with the attitude that he has and the lack of like work,
the one criticism you can give,
would not start
Amrit,
Liverpool.
You would chop your left bollock off right now to get Bruno Fernandes.
No,
if I said to you right now, yeah, do that, you would do it. So don't chat shit.
I would pick Bobby Firmino over Fernandes any day.
Bobby Firmino actually plays higher up the pitch than Bruno.
Yeah,
and
but
Bruno gets more goals than assists.
No.
That's just a fact.
But Bobby plays for the team. Bruno.
That's just a fact. Okay, Bruno doesn't. But okay, fine. Bruno, look, the one criticism you can give to him is he is petulant. He is irritating. He has a go at everyone. He's whiny. He's a whiny character.
But these are the qualities you guys saying, oh, but he's pushing the players up. Now you're saying he's a whiny character.
Sometimes he is annoying, don't get me wrong. And yes, it can be argued in that match, it did seem like he did give up.
There was also one moment when Mo Salah did him and then he just didn't chase. Yeah. This is like the 85th minute. And then also there was a whole lot of thing made about him gesturing to the bench. And so people said that he was gesturing for him to be taken off. But then he came out and said, well, no, I was just clarifying if it was me or not.
What I wanted to see was the reaction the game after. The game after, this is stuff for the manager to deal with. And I do feel the manager is strong enough and commands enough respect.
You know about in the Premier League, don't count Real Betis. Real Betis are struggling. Aren't they like in the bottom 3 of La Liga?
They held Real Madrid to a 0-0, literally a few days before they played us.
Right.
And don't make me go into what Real Madrid did to your team.
No, we're not talking about that right now.
So what we're saying is they can put up.
I saw the highlights of Southampton Man United, right? It was a 3-minute video on Sky Sports.
The game that we played.
No, can I just finish, please? This is a game at Old Trafford. And I would say in terms of the Sky Sports always show the biggest chances, right? United featured twice and everything else was just Southampton.
You do realise we played over half the game with 10 men?
Yeah, because Casemiro, he's shite.
He's not shite. Right,
he got ragged in that Liverpool game.
Listen,
he got
in that
shafted.
Game, something wasn't right.
Right,
He wasn't on it. The commentator, the punditry, they acknowledge this as well. He just wasn't quite on it. And really? Because he wasn't, you know what, it's fine.
Oh, no.
He had a bad game. I'm not saying he had a good game. He had a bad game, but that just shows how important he is to United.
But then he got sent off for the right reason. You know, the fucking cheek of it. He
got sent off for the right reason. No, I know what you're going to say now. But look, I'm not denying it's not a red card.
But your manager is... Somehow, I saw that Ten Hag was saying this morning.
No. Listen. Because what Ten Hag's doing is nowhere near what Klopp does. Klopp's fucking deluded, chats shit, has excuses out of his arse every game. What Ten Hag did was made very valid points. A lot of people... I was reading it on Twitter too, because the game, for some stupid reason, wasn't televised anywhere in the UK. I'm paying for BT Sport, I'm paying for Sky, I'm paying for Amazon Prime. Where the fuck's the game?
This is why you gotta stream it, bro.
Stream it. There's a crackdown going on with loads of that now.
I know.
But anyway, there's inconsistency in the refereeing. If you watch the Chelsea game the day before, the amount of similar challenges...
So you think it's okay for a player, like, it's inconsistent, players confused whether they should roll their foot over the ball and, like, fucking reach the shin
slipped.
of the...
He didn't roll over the ball, he slipped. You think he intended... You're saying there was malice in that challenge? There was no malice.
He went in with that... Did you see his back leg going off the ground? Did you see his
tough, but fair.
Both of his legs were off the ground.
Casemiro has played 500 games and he's never received a straight red card. In the space of 3 months, he's received 2 red cards now. Yeah, the refereeing shit.
No, it's not.
We need an investigation into Antony Taylor.
It's not because he was in a team in Real Madrid where Real Madrid was the dominant
where
team.
He was doing the same thing. Where he was doing the same
referees were afraid to dish out like harsher decisions. But here, you're in the Premier League, mate. Okay, if you're an arsehole, if you're an ass, you get called an ass.
So you've had your Liverpool moment, yeah? Done, yeah? Happy?
You know what the best thing... No, I'm not done actually, because one of the best things I noticed about that game, okay, yeah, and this is what I was saying, like a few of the people that I like have a football chat with, okay, yeah, the players that United fans always target for ridicule were the players that actually scored. Mo Salah, 2 goals, bang, bang. Nunes...
Cody Gapco, Mr. 007.
He's got more goals than Antony, mate.
Does he?
100%. Antony, like, he's the biggest waste of... Why does nobody talk about Antony?
He's a banger.
We need a podcast. The only thing I actually remember Antony doing in a United shirt is that, that little swivel he did, and then he walked it out of the fucking line. Yeah. That's literally the only thing I have.
He scored a banger against Betis.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it.
Banger.
Right.
Right after that.
Okay, put in Gakpo and Antony, who's got more goals.
Listen, yeah. Look.
You can't even say...
you had your moment, yeah?
Right.
Let me just summarise this quickly.
Cody Gakpo 2 goals. Salah 2 goals. Who scored the...
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'm not shaking your hands.
Congrats on your You Beat United 7-0 trophy.
Oh, yeah, no.
The fact of the matter is...
It is 100% trophy.
Are you 8 points behind United?
We're not.
In the Premier League?
We'll catch up.
Are you 8 points behind, yes or no?
Possibly we are, yes.
No, you are. It's not possibly, it's a fact.
Okay.
A matter of fact, you are 8 points behind United.
It's okay.
Embarrassing.
Right. But we'll take the 7-0.
Take it. And, enjoy the banter. I would do the same thing, so it's fine. Enjoy it. It does call for banter, 7-0. But what also calls for banter is, you lost 1-0 to Bournemouth the game after.
I know. Shocking.
Embarrassing.
Because I was hoping we'll win that 2 games in hand.
Jamie Carragher was drinking a lot of 7-Up. He needs to drink a lot of Coke Cherry now.
Yeah.
Up the cherries.
How long have you had that? How long have you been sitting on that one?
Since 2 days ago.
You saw it on Twitter?
I saw it on Twitter, yeah. I sent the meme in. I'll send it to you too. Right. I'll put it on top of this picture. Jamie Carragher, have a Coke Cherry on me, son. Right. Okay, quickly on Kane and Conte. Futures at Tottenham.
Conte going.
Do you reckon?
Kane, yeah. I think Conte, I don't think... His heart's never been in it.
Really?
I don't think it has. Like, he's been calling for him to be sacked for ages.
No, but then he came out and he said, I would die for Tottenham. He said, I would die for Tottenham.
Come on, man. He wouldn't die for any fucking football club. If you look at his record and, like, he leaves in a couple of, seasons. If he doesn't get what he wants, which is money, to spend in transfers and stuff, he leaves. He wouldn't die for any club.
Every team needs money.
No, I'm just saying, like, there are some managers that just say, okay, look, give me a chunk of money to spend, otherwise I'm going.
I think he didn't get the right players.
And
because Daniel Levy has a lot of control on transfers, and he wants to bring, and he's fucked it up.
And a lot of Tottenham fans are angry with Daniel Levy. They're saying that in Conte, did you have a good manager?
Conte's a great manager, man.
But do you not think that
Liverpool would love him right now?
No.
Okay, no, ignore that comment.
Okay, come on. Well, let's be real. If you want a serious chat, let's have a serious chat.
Okay, serious chat. Okay.
Right, okay, yeah. Conte, I think he discovered that one formation with Chelsea and it kind of worked for him, right?
Yeah.
But I think
he's been figured out now.
He's not just been figured out, but I think he's trying to like imprint that on every club he goes to. I don't think if it's working entirely in Tottenham.
Yeah, agreed.
Because the results are very inconsistent. You've had players like Son who are like firing, you know, goals left, right, and centre. All of a sudden now he's like he doesn't even score a goal anymore. He doesn't even get the score sheets or assists, for example. Can't even remember the last time Son scored a goal. To be fair, Harry Kane, he's that kind of, you know, the way they channel all the balls through and stuff. So he still gets in the score sheet here and there. But in terms of Harry Kane, I think he's
you think he's gone? Yeah,
he's only got a year left on his contract at the end of the season.
There's a lot of talk about United signing him.
Yeah, and then
I'm a United fan though. I think,
but look, okay, Harry Kane. The only reason Harry Kane would leave Tottenham is for one reason and one
to win
reason.
a trophy.
That's the only reason. Yeah. But going to United does not guarantee trophies. I would say they're on the same. And I'm not
with him. It wouldn't.
What?
With him, it wouldn't.
What do you mean with him? It wouldn't.
So I think if you look at the United team, what they're lacking right now is an out-and-out number 9.
Yeah, but you had Romelu Lukaku come in and nothing happened.
But he didn't.
Lukaku, one of the best number 9s.
He won a couple of trophies.
What did he win?
Europa League.
I don't think Harry Kane would leave Tottenham for Europa League.
I think he would.
I don't think
he'd take a trophy, mate.
No.
All those years playing and you wouldn't take a trophy.
The two teams that will guarantee you trophies that he could possibly go to, he could have gone to Man City, right?
I think he also won an FA Cup or a Carling Cup as well.
And the other thing, I think Harry Kane's in a dilemma here, okay? Because Harry Kane probably wouldn't want to leave, getting so... He'd want to beat Shearer's record for one, like Premier League record, okay, yeah?
Oh, of course.
So ideally, he'd want to stay in the Premier League.
There's been a great goal scorer, though, but there's having a fucking trophy in the cabinet.
No. This is what I'm trying to say. The dilemma that Harry Kane faces, okay, yeah, there's twofold, okay? He wants a trophy, okay? But going to United is not going to get him a Premier League. It's not going to get him a Champions League, okay, yeah?
Where do you want him to
go? But his problem is he wouldn't want to leave the Premier League because he'd want to chase down that record that Alan Shearer holds. Right? So there's two places that will guarantee him a trophy. One is Man City, but obviously that's a closed door now because of Haaland and like Alvarez and stuff, right? Yeah, okay. And Bayern Munich.
Or Real Madrid.
Yeah, Real Madrid, but I don't think Real Madrid will take him right now. But Bayern Munich will take him.
Either.
Bayern would take him because they're missing that striker that since Lewandowski's gone. So then it kind of narrows it down to Manchester United or Bayern. If you think about it, who are you going to win a trophy?
If I was Harry Kane, I'd be going to Bayern.
Yeah. And
United fans, as a United fan, with the options at Harry Kane, but for me, he's another 30-year-old past his peak.
You're going to pay,
he will deliver.
And you know the worst thing is, you'd probably pay about 90, 100 million pounds for Harry Kane with a season left on his contract.
I don't think you would, not with a year left.
Well, Daniel Levy would squeeze out 100 million.
You never know, yeah. But
United,
he'd deliver for a couple of seasons.
If United are going to pay 30, like,
but there's
75 million for a defensive midfielder who's like 30,
great
31.
Signing. Right? I think he's proved
shit signing. So okay,
no, great signing.
Right?
If you
There's no way you're going to tell me that Daniel Levy won't be able to squeeze. And then didn't he have a year left on his contract like Casemiro at Real Madrid?
But that was obviously done like
you guys are shafted, man.
Casemiro. If Casemiro was in Liverpool right now, yeah,
he was struggling to get into that team.
If Casemiro was in Liverpool right now, you'd be challenging for the league.
No.
Yes, you would.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
We would not.
Because he's Fabinho's dad.
He's not.
He is?
He's not.
He's the daddy.
He's not. Fab's having not a great season this season, but he's He
doesn't get in the team when Casemiro's in Brazil.
No, he had been.
No, he doesn't when Casemiro's there, buddy. That's a fact. Right? Anyway, right? United fans, we've got an option between Harry Kane or Osimhen.
Who?
Osimhen. He's good. He's 24. He's killing Serie A right now.
Right.
He's dragging Napoli to the top of the league.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is
yeah. And he's rapid.
But
I would rather go for him.
Okay, you know what? Would you want to place a little bet online, on air, here, right now? If United get Harry Kane, I would say it's going to be 90 million plus. And you think it's not going to be 90, 100 million pounds?
No, I said it could be.
Take a position on this. I'm saying 90 million plus.
Okay, what is he? He's 30 years old, yeah?
Right.
And he's got 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah. You know what? I think the worst thing's going to be at the end of it, he's going to sign a new contract. Like he always ends up doing.
That's what always happens.
Yeah.
It's happened twice before.
And the thing is, like, Harry Kane, with him, Tottenham will match, if not better, any salaries offered at any other club. They do have that sort of money to keep him. Right? The only reason they wouldn't be able to keep him is because the lack of...
It's just a shit show?
Yeah, it's a shit show.
Alright, cool. What about...
No, but why have you, like, gone, alright, cool, so
Firstly, I would rather we go for Osimhen. If Osimhen's
we're not even
available,
talking about this geezer. We're talking about if Harry Kane comes to United at the end of this season...
I'll answer your question. Let me answer.
No.
If we go for Kane,
No.
And we spent £100 million on him, yeah? That is overpaying, in my opinion.
I've just told you. You've not told me anything. I'm asking you a question. This is a hypothetical situation. Do
you want me to get on the phone to Glazers?
Listen,
what do you want me to do?
Bro, if United sign Harry Kane at the end of the season, okay, in the summer transfer window, tell me how much United will pay for him. I'm saying
I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. What I'm saying is, United in the past 5 or 6 years have notoriously overpaid for signings, and there's been that Man United tax.
Right.
I think since Ten Hag's come in,
you know why?
there's been more shrewd spending.
Shrewd spending? You kidding me? Antony, what was it, like 90 million? £75 million for a 30-year-old that had a year left on his contract at Madrid, who wasn't even getting into the team.
Best defensive midfielder in the world.
Shut the fuck up.
You paid for the best.
You paid.
Who wasn't getting in where?
Who wasn't getting to the Real Madrid team properly.
Shut the up, man. Honestly, just shut the up now, because you're chatting shit. You're chatting out your arse. That's enough on this topic.
Why would a player leave Real Madrid and come to United when he's 30 years old? If a player is at their peak, as you're supposed to
Real Madrid didn't want him to leave. They were sad to see him go, but they respected what he achieved for the club. 5 Champions Leagues, buddy.
So you're telling me a player, as you put it, at his peak, okay, do you think Casemiro is at his peak?
He's in the peak, yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying a player in his peak, right, will leave Real Madrid to come to United?
Once you've achieved 5 Champions Leagues with the club, mate.
No.
I think you do.
I think if a player senses,
challenge completed.
If a player senses, I've got a year left on my contract.
He said he wants to come to the hardest league in the world.
Right.
And he wants another challenge.
Right.
And he's not coming for holiday.
Man City going for him? Why did Liverpool not going for him?
Man City have Rodri, who is probably top 3 in the world. So they have a player.
Buddy, I'm telling you, there was some danger that Casemiro foresaw that he's not getting the satisfaction at Real Madrid. And United came in with 75 million, right? And then fucking Real Madrid, like a lottery, you know, like for them.
Listen.
They were trying to offload him.
We got 2-3 things
and they got 75 million out of you.
Listen.
Imagine Real Madrid trying to sell a player, right, yeah, who's got a year left in his contract, and they're probably panicking, can we get 20 million for him? And fucking United get shafted for 75 million, bro. Can you imagine that?
Are you done?
For a 30-year-old.
Are you done?
Yeah, I am now.
Okay.
And they're going to pay about 110 million for Kane with a year left in his contract.
Okay,
he's got 30 years old.
Are you done?
Go on.
Arsenal. They're flying high.
I still think they're going to fuck it up.
Really?
Yeah, they've got to play Man City at Etihad and they've got to play Liverpool at Anfield. And I think they beat us.
Liverpool at Anfield doesn't mean shit.
Oh, really? Why would you not ask Ten Hag that?
But like Liverpool are just shambles, aren't they?
I know, but at home against a big team, we turn up, man. And Arsenal have struggled at Anfield hugely over the last 5-6 seasons.
You know what it is for Arsenal? They've had 2 games recently where they've just been out, losing 2-0, losing whatever 3-0. They've come back and they've won the games.
Yeah.
And that is just what tells me these things go for you when the stars align. The stars are aligning.
I just don't trust Arsenal.
10 games to go, man. 11 games to go.
I just don't trust Arsenal. I just don't trust them. 11 games is a lot.
They do have the bottle in them.
They do not.
I mean, the bottle job.
Yeah, they are bottle jobs. Yeah. As in, like, so 11 games. They could bottle it. 11 games is a lot of games. That's like 33 points. 33 points, that is.
So is it 5-point gap between them and City?
And it could have been about 12. Had it not, like, stumbled a bit. Like, tripped
No, but come on, man. Let's not be harsh. They've been doing well.
No, to beat Man City in the Premier League, you have to have a huge gap. Because they will catch up. They will catch up, man.
So you're speaking from experience?
I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just telling you, we've won every single game, and Man City have won every single game in the past seasons. Man City, they spend like 100 million on a player left, right, and centre that they don't even need.
Any props to Arteta? Fair play, he's doing a decent job.
Yeah, I told you from day one, Arteta's the man for the job. Even like when Arsenal fans were like, Arteta out, you know. But they will bottle it. They will bottle it, I think. I am going to say...
I still think he has a lot to learn, like when it comes to big games, getting that tactical nous.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I think no manager's like ever like learned it all.
But Arsenal fans need to relax though. But okay, cool. Last couple of topics now. This is just something interesting I read, man. Maybe not too much to talk about this, but Prince Harry, Ian Wright, formerly Cheryl Cole.
Prince Harry. Oh, okay. It's not about Prince Harry and
other celebrities. They're gonna go to court over phone hacking allegations against the Daily Mirror.
The Daily Mirror?
They believe articles published between 1996 and 2010 used information illegally obtained, i.e. via phone hacking, etc.
Daily Mirror? Wow.
So these are people like Ian Wright, etc. So decent people in there too. Loads of celebrities, man. Chris Tarrant's wife. There's loads of people involved.
Yeah. I mean, that's been going on for ages. Remember News of the World?
That was in 2011. The case has been listed for May the 9th for 6 weeks.
Right.
And it'll be interesting, man, to see how it unfolds.
Follow that, you know.
But do you reckon your phone hacking?
Oh, it still happens, probably. I'm not saying like I obviously have no experience with it, but obviously it happens. Like how all these news like tabloid newspapers. That's how they get the news and stuff. You know, they're always continuously like want to break that big thing.
Because there's always that fine line between news outlets protecting their source,
right?
And therefore that covers where they get the information from.
But then they do hack, and they've gone to like lowest of low lengths before, like tabloid newspapers. They always have done. It's not something that's happened for the first time, and it's not something that's going to happen for the last time either. Cool. It'd be interesting to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I thought you started talking about Prince Harry. I was like, fucking hell, man. Like, not that again. Like, I'm just tired of like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stuff, man. Just
he needs to allow it.
Yeah, not just him, but I think media just need to allow it.
I watched a comedy special recently. Who was it? I've watched so many.
Chris Rock.
It was Chris Rock, wasn't it? And he talks about Meghan Markle.
I don't know if you're talking about Meghan Markle.
He talks about Meghan Markle.
I've not seen it. I'm gonna watch it.
He took the piss out of it. He was like, "Sister, you married into the most racist family possible."
Yeah.
They were like the originators of racism.
Yeah.
They colonialized the world. Like, what were you expecting? And you know what? When he said it like that, it's actually true.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, obviously he went in on Will Smith.
You know what
we
should do? Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I've not seen the episode yet. I've been saving it. I want to watch it like when I'm like fully available to watch it, right? And I did see a clip of it on Insta about Will Smith and the way he just tore into him, man. And, fair play, fuck Will Smith, man.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, fuck Will Smith. And
the way he tore into him, you can tell Chris Rock is still holding a lot of hurt.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? Somebody comes up to you on stage when millions are watching and just slaps you because of their own insecurity, right? Because they couldn't handle anything, like, you know. And there's a saying in Punjabi, duje da gussa kadna hai, like, you know, like it was like somebody he's had that built up anger from his family, and he just took it all out on Chris Rock live on TV, whatever, right, in front of millions.
I watched Chris Rock live when he toured in Birmingham. This was a few months back. He wasn't great. Just putting it out there.
He's better than, what's his name? Kevin Hart. Yeah,
no, he's not.
He's better than Kevin Hart.
He's not.
He's better than Kevin Hart.
He's not.
He's better.
But yeah, so he toured. He wasn't great. I watched this special. You know, it was good because this special, it was the first time Netflix live streamed a comedy show. So that
really?
It was a bit gimmicky.
Right.
Yeah, live stream.
So it wasn't the case where they said, okay, remember when we went to Kevin Hart about a few years back, and it was for Netflix, and they got us to like just laugh so they could record it and they could edit it in to his jokes. You know, so there was none of that business with Chris Rock.
You know, most people do that, right?
No. Most people do that, but I'm just saying, like, this happened at Kevin Hart. And
when you've got a big Netflix production, you want to make sure you get some good cuts and shots.
Right.
But anyway,
so that live Chris Rock.
Like
so when it comes to Chris Rock versus Kevin Hart, so there was none of that fake laughter. What I'm trying to point out.
Right. Listen.
So Chris Rock.
Listen. Yeah. Now Chris Rock he's fair play to him. He's good.
Better than Kevin Hart.
He's good, man. He's achieved a lot in his life.
Better than Kevin Hart.
I think he is coming to the end, though.
Kevin
Obviously, yeah, iconic he played, you know, with the zebra in Madagascar as well. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
He did.
Must be.
Yeah. And, what do you call it? Well, yeah, so obviously I watched him in Birmingham. He wasn't great. Watched him this time. This special was better than his last tour.
Still better than Kevin Hart.
Better, but a lot of parts were a bit average. But the Will Smith part at the end, man.
That was fire.
It's just worth watching that for itself. I mean, the way
I
he just
saw a
broke
clip
it down.
of it on Instagram, as I told you. And fair play.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Did you see Jimmy Kimmel joking about it as well? So like last night was the Oscars.
Yeah.
He joked like, oh, if at any point you do want to come up and like, you know, slap somebody on stage, you will be given an Oscar and a 90-minute speech after it, by the way.
Everyone's joked like that though.
Yeah.
Literally
No, but he was hosting. Jimmy Kimmel was hosting.
Every Oscars speech was making reference to that from last year.
Yeah, I know. And then Will Smith, well, you know, normally it's the best actor who's won best actor in last year's category that presents best actress in like the next year's. So Will Smith, obviously they didn't get Will Smith to do it. I think who did they get? They got in Hella Belly. What is it? What's her name? I can't pronounce it.
I don't know.
Catwoman, man.
Oh, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, that's it. Yeah.
Put some respect on her name, man.
Did I say Belly? Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Yeah.
That's the queen you're talking about.
Yeah.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Bro, man, you mispronounce her name once more. I'm going to have to kick you off this podcast. Yeah. Halle Berry. Talking of the Oscars, you know, there were 2 Asian winners last night. Best male and best female.
I've not seen, you know, for the last 2 or 3 years, I've not seen like Oscar-worthy films, man. So I don't want to comment too much on it, but fair play, man.
It was that film, man.
Everything and Everywhere. Like, I'm going to watch it now. Normally what I do is when the films get announced, like, you know, the Oscar list get announced, I watch every single film, but I've not done it for the last 2 or 3 years.
Was it Everything and Everywhere?
Yeah, something like that. It's like a bit of a weird, longish title.
It is a weird, longish title.
It's like Everything and Everywhere, something. I think what I've not even like known about it until now.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. I think that's pretty much it for this
But
podcast.
fair play.
Fair play. Big up the Asians, man. Let's get some more.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next podcast.